What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Hatter's Lounge. We're here at the Mount Ormond Resort. We got another Vami Mommy match, and I'm actually going to cut to the end footage of this video. This video is going to be way different than anything that I've ever put out before, so hopefully you guys like it. Let me know. But it's not going to be a guide about builds or killers or anything like that. This actually is more for survivors and from the killer's perspective, and I'm going to explain a little bit more here in just a second. So, cut to the pretty much end game of the match here. They have 2 generators left until the gates are powered. I got 1 survivor that I'm about to kill, and this actually was like their best looper on the team, and that's gonna make sense here in just a moment. So the Nancy's out, and then we have a team of 3. I was assuming that this was a Swift. Maybe they were inexperienced, but at the end of the game in the rankings, it kind of made sense. You know, it probably was a bunch of friends playing together, etc., etc. But there was a lot of misplaying that these survivors did that I was really able to take advantage of, and I wanted to put this video out not so much to like talk smack or talk down on what they did, but more along the lines of like, you know, maybe people like don't really know how to do like most of the things that red rank killers are able to counterplay and like expect. So instead, what a lot of survivors, and I've noticed this on stream too, I've noticed this like in a lot of games where a lot of survivors will get the killer's attention and then they will hold shift W or whatever their run binding keys are, and then they will run to the opposite end of the map away from where the gens are and away from anywhere that a killer can put pressure on the rest of the team. In theory, that kind of works because it's a bait to get that killer to waste their time to get away from the gens and therefore put less map pressure so the rest of the team can come back behind and can do the gens in peace and don't have to worry about the killer coming in and bombarding them, and can also do a call out. So it's kind of a two-sided thing. When you see survivors try to do that, it's very obvious that they're playing together. They have comms, they're able to communicate, and it's also, you need to recognize that they're trying to waste your time, so this is the game that they're playing. So prioritizing which person you're going to kill and also actually landing your shots, which I apparently am not capable of doing. Never mind. So being able to, you know, recognize when survivors are trying to waste your time. Now, what this Felix does here blew my mind because he just left probably the stronger out of the 2 loops that were right here available to him. He left the stronger of the 2 and then went to a spot where it was very easy for me to get a hit. That chase took maybe 30 seconds, if that, and immediately resulted with he's down, I'm getting him on his hook, and now I'm off to the races to go find the other 2 who are cleansing against a plague, which if you watched my other video on plague that I'll link in the end screen, then you'll see kind of like that's really a bad idea, and you're really just supercharging this killer more than you need to be. But the point that I really wanted to make here was just understanding which survivors are stronger and understanding which survivors are able to actually perform loops as opposed to trying to hold shift W and essentially just kind of like waste your time. Whereas like this right here, this is probably the weakest loop on this map, and Claudette just, I'm assuming she gave up. I left her slugged anyway because I got greedy with infectious fight value and I just wanted to put more map pressure on, and I'm noticing that they're cleansing every time that they're getting sick, so I need to put more pressure onto the rest of the map, and I'm pretty confident in the fact that I can get that Claudette down again. But here, like, she tried doing a really decent loop here. She actually had a good spot, but if you notice how far away from those rocks that she is and how close I stayed, that's why I'm able to get a free hit, is because the distance that she's creating from that loop and those rocks that can protect her and herself is greater than me, and I'm moving already faster. So here we just moonwalk, easy, nice little M1, punched her right, pow, right in the kisser, and down goes, you know, the survivor. It's game over, like the back of their sweater says. So it's the reason, like I said, that I want to put this video out is not to say like, oh, they did bad, etc., but more of this is what they could have done better. And a lot of times in these chases that you'll see, that it almost looks like they just stopped looking at where I was, which is something that a lot of survivors with more confidence will actually do, because they're like, oh, okay, well, hey, they're just either straight behind me, or I can just get to the next loop, or, they just are tunnel visioned on where they want to go. So, for instance, like by this time, I'm here, they're trying to separate, and I'm right back on him again, and she's sick, she can't be healed, working on getting broken again, so she has to cleanse, and he goes to this extremely weak pallet, and it's just a quick down again. There's 2 infectious fright, and then this is probably the worst move these survivors did here in just a second. Right where they cleansed, that pool wasn't highlighted when I got him down, so that's immediately, I know, to go to that hook. Now, mind you, you're not going to know that unless you play Plague, or you've played a lot against Plague, and, you know that her pools are highlighted, and that when you cleanse, like, that's when, we know exactly where to go to get our supercharge. But she stayed close. She's trying to get the unhook, thinking that I went the other way. Down she goes. Infectious Fright. There's the next survivor. Nothing you can do. But look how small this loop is that she tried to go, where she wasted the entire hit speed value by running headlong into the loop instead of... That was the only point where if you would have held Shift W and ran across the map, it would have made sense. Because it would have forced me to turn around to get the hook, and you could have unhooked your friend, or made another play, went to find Hatch, etc., etc. So, it's not so much of a get good video, but more of a, these are some things that a lot of survivors, a lot of times, like, you may not think of these things, and I know myself, I get caught with my pants down in Survivor all the time, and you just wind up in a bad spot on the map, and you just can't, like, out-loop the killer, and it happens. But I wanted to put this out as more of a, just, please stop holding Shift W and thinking that you will escape, because eventually you're going to get caught, and it's going to happen. So let me know if you guys like this. I know it's kind of a rant, and it's different from what I put out. I hope somebody found this helpful. If not, cool, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you very much. As always, stay blessed, and we will see you guys here at the Hatters Lounge next time. Deuces!